now. And I know for a fact when you do this environmental study, you're going to come up, I'm letting you know right now, when you do the study, you're going to come up with more toxins, and don't even try and sweep it under the rug, because I'm telling you, I know it's working. I coach the Santa Monica Vikings, the Pee Wee football team, and we have to practice at Cloverfield Park right by that airport. And I got kids who have to quit practice because they smell those fumes. And I'm just telling you, it's happening. You guys got to do something about it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hi, John Barsky.
Pleasure.
I voted for you, Bill, in hopes that you would do something about this problem.
Thank you.
And I've been living there since 1951, since I was born. We live on Mountain View. And I'm in that little tunnel you're talking about where the fumes come through. And it's very, very intense. There's only one solution to this whole thing if you're going to keep the jets there. And you're going to have to put up some kind of a lift-up suction device that's going to suck in these fumes, and it's going to filter them, and it's going to let them out. Until those jets get removed, that's all you can do to stop these fumes. And they're not only coming over on my side of the airport. I've got friends that worked over at Activision on the north side of the airport, and their whole building gets so full of fumes, they have to evacuate it. So, and they've complained numerous times to the airport about it. I'm telling you, it's cancerous, it's dangerous, and it's probably the most dangerous of all the problems we've got. We've definitely got the flyover problem, and we've got the noise problem. But that fume problem has got to go. Every afternoon, those fumes come in, and I'm telling you, you can feel them. They're kerosene. It's heavy-duty stuff. It's landing on the cars. It's landing on the vegetables. It's landing on everything, and it's black. And if you think that's not cancerous to your lungs, then you've got another thing coming, because it is.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments.
Sorry to take your time. There's one item I forgot on my list. I used to talk to the mailman all the time that had the route under the approach to the airport. And mailmen know dogs, obviously, because the dogs are always hassling them. And he observed that a lot of the dogs on his route had died in that area east of the runway there. So I just thought I'd mention that one.
Now we got the dogs and the cats, as Joan was saying. This is Tom Ponton, who's president of the Mar Vista Neighborhood Council. Good to have you.
Thank you, Bill. And I want to thank Marty and Joan and yourself for putting this together for our community, as well as all the panelists who have joined tonight. And I actually had not planned to speak tonight. I came to listen. And it's something I realized or noticed that all of the speakers live fairly close to the airport. And being a person who lives quite some distance, over 2 miles from the airport, I just wanted to mention that in the last few years, we can hear the planes warming up in the evening, on a quiet evening, where I live. And originally we thought it was helicopters, so we had extra crime going on in the neighborhood, but I don't know if it's the way the certain nights are quieter or the wind's flowing, but I live near Venice Boulevard and McLaughlin, and we do hear the planes in the evening. And I just wanted to say that for the record.
Thanks for your leadership at the Mar Vista Community Council, too. Yes, sir, you're up.
Hi there.
Hi.
My name's Josh. I live at 2762 Armacost. The cross street is Sardis, so kind of back up to the east end of the airport. Just like to start by saying kudos to you, Mr. Rubin. Thanks for putting this together, and the acronym's great. I don't think you could put it any more accurately on the situation.
Put closer to the mic.
My question is there not a solution that we can achieve in between a longer-term solution? It seems to me that, based on where I live, you can't really be outside when a jet is idling on the runway. From what I understand, they idle on the runway for so long because they're waiting for clearance from LAX. I've often wondered, why do they have to idle in that location? Why do they have to idle their engines at all? I mean, I guess it would be an expense issue. Maybe it's an efficiency issue, but I don't know that you could put any efficiency on human life, which I agree with what everybody has said here tonight. I usually put my shirt over my face when I'm outside if I'm playing with a dog or some of the neighbors' kids, whatever it is, because you can't stand outside and breathe those fumes. They're toxic. And I appreciate the studies that are going to be conducted. I agree with the gentleman earlier. I mean, come on, who are we fooling? We all know that what's going to be found. It's just a matter of to what level the toxicity is. So I would ask the panel, I don't know if it's the Airport Commission or who it is, if there's an intermediate solution. I don't think that we're going to stop jet operations immediately, but maybe we could mitigate their effects by changing the way that they take off, changing the way that they idle. I don't have any problem with them flying over. The noise is bad. I bought my house 3 years ago. I knew that when I bought it. I am the flight pattern. The jets come directly over my home, and I knew that when I bought it. So I don't have any problem with that. I know they need to take off. I know those people, the people who own and operate the jets have a lot of power, a lot more than a lot of our residents here. But I think that as a solution for everybody, maybe we could just change the way that they idle. I don't know if that's possible, or if you're even going to discuss that.
We'll ask that question.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
And thank you for your comments, too. Good evening, ma'am.
My name is Gwen Reinhardt. I've lived here for about 26 years on Berry Avenue, a half a mile from the airport. I'm also right under the flight pattern. I've been going to the Santa Monica Airport Commission and City Council meetings off and on for the last 6 or 7 years since the jets really started getting bad. And the reception there was definitely chilly for people from West LA. This is the first warm reception I feel like our complaints and our fears and worries have had. So I want to thank you for being here. I just wanted to add my voice to the chorus so you can see another body up here saying, yeah, we're suffering from the noise and the pollution. It's real. Our subjective feelings don't need to be proved with facts, but we hope you can do that for us. And we hope you can help lift the weight. You look like a muscular panel, so thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Stacy Brown back with one more issue. One of our neighbors, I'm in Northwest Dale, which is just east of the school. One of our neighbors a few years ago did an unscientific, informal survey of a number of households in the community and found a huge proportion of households that had experienced cancers. And so one of the things that I would like to recommend is a health survey, household health survey, to document how many households are currently experiencing respiratory problems and other immune system problems, including cancers, and then compare that to other communities that have similar freeway impacts but don't have the airport impact. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yes, sir. You've been listening to everything all night. Tell us who you are.
My name is Ofer Grossman. I have the dubious distinction of being a member of the Santa Monica Airport Commission. And so the first thing I would say is, to the degree that anyone here feels that members of West LA receive a chilly reception, I invite you all to our meetings. They're held on a monthly basis. And please come beginning with Monday the 28th. I promise you that this time when you come, you won't get a chilly reception. I can't speak to your experiences in the past. I know that Marty's a regular member. Perhaps he can speak to the reception that he receives there. But really, I'm here to pose some questions. I've listened this evening, and I have some questions. As a member of the commission, I get my information from a very limited source, and we have a very distinguished panel here tonight. I was hoping that some people could address some questions I've been asking over and over the years. The first question is, what can be done under the federal regulatory scheme to regulate the emissions of aircraft and or restrict aircraft's operations at our airport based upon their emissions? The second question, and that...
Before we go to the second one, are you writing that down there, Gene? Will you be able to respond, do you think? You'll try. Okay, go ahead.
I guess the second question would be maybe for Ms. Amir, and that is, what can be done under the state's environmental protection laws that could be used to help regulate emissions of aircrafts at the airport? I mean, we've got a lot of people are pointing the finger tonight at Santa Monica, and that may be right and that may be wrong, and maybe there's room for further exploration of the powers that the city of Santa Monica has to regulate the airport, but it's really a regional problem.